Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by. A continuous and never ending improvement. Happy as always to have you back. Like, comment, subscribe. We only need 18 more to start going live, and we're really excited to do that. So run it up for us there. But joined as always with Miss Samantha White, Miss Olivia White, Mr. Jalen Edward Phillips, aka Whiskers. That was perfect. That was not rehearsed, so that was a beautiful thing right there, Kat.
Wow, wasn't prepared.
That excitement isn't fake, for real. We have a very exciting topic too to talk about. Hot topic these days on all platforms, I would say. But what we're going to center it around, I believe, is, for one, let me go ahead and throw it out there. It is artificial intelligence. But Google did just come out with, I guess, a new algorithm he's going to tell us a little about. But we want to really talk about, is this good or bad for society? I mean, shouldn't we be letting, the people, chat, decide what's viral and what isn't? Is this gonna help that, or really take away the human touch there? But Jay, what do you got for us?
Well, yeah, no, I think that's a perfect way to segue into it. So Google, the tech, obviously to help, that's what it's for. We all know Google, and some of you guys have seen it, when you Google things now, they have that AI generator that'll tell you, like, pretty much the answer to everything, right? That's cool, right? That's a great thing and everything, but let's actually talk about it, because I feel like it's a big thing that everybody struggles with now in terms of that instant gratification and what really happens afterwards, and I had jotted a little note. I put instant gratification, long-term disruption. And the reason this was so intriguing to me and why I actually did want to talk about it is because there's an article out there and just talked about how there's a lot of businesses losing money now because it turned Google from, that search engine to now almost like an answer engine. To where whatever you use, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? And businesses are losing that, exposure. And there's actually one business that I wanted to highlight here, House Fresh. Get your spray there, clean your house. Everybody needs a Sunday cleaning, you know that. But no, House Fresh, they used to get 4,000 referrals from Google. This was by day. Now they only get about 200. And if you read a little further in the article, really just talks about how they actually had to really just let go of several of their employees. But yeah, AI. So AI, I want to hear your guys' opinion on it.
I don't know, I think it's like a good tool to utilize, but I fear that one day we're gonna start overutilizing it, just kind of like we do with anything. So I guess that's what's a little bit scary. I mean, there's some things that as for now it seems like a robot couldn't do, but who knows? I guess we never even expected. I know I was playing on Instagram the one day and you can type a mouse wearing flip-flops and it will generate a picture in 30 seconds. I think that's so weird. So who knows what the future holds for AI.
Yeah, you brought up a good point. We all can't live without our phones nowadays, but it's just I'm sure everybody thought that was a bad idea in the beginning, but now it has created jobs and created wealth for a lot of people that otherwise wouldn't have it. So I think again, it goes back you touched on the moderation or maybe regulation needs to be around it, but I don't know. I think there's two sides to the coin.
Yeah. Absolutely. I agree 100% with there being two sides to the coin, because I, for one, like to think of myself as old school, you know what I mean? I like the, more primitive, I guess, things, and even kind of thinking about collecting just DVDs, VHS, that type of thing to still have, and not necessarily throw it away. But in the same sense with AI, I mean, that's why what Elon Musk, and I was watching a YouTube video on him earlier, but it is just Jordan B. Peterson was talking about him, or Jordan Peterson, but he's just was talking about how it's amazing, the touch he has on things, but that was his, I remember the first time watching him, that was his acceptance of it, is it's here to stay. So you either get on board and help the Neuralink thing, how can we make it so that the AI submits to the human, not the human submitting to the artificial intelligence, and it becoming an artificial infection. But Yeah, I mean, I agree. My thought on it when we decided to do this topic was almost immediately that one, like artificial intelligence versus becoming like an artificial infection, but also just kind of like educating yourself on it. You know what I mean? Because like I don't have a desire to use it or know where I would use it, but I want to know about it to where if I do need to use it, that I'm not like coming from behind in terms of well now I need to figure all of it out. I'm completely oblivious to it. So yeah, I'm not off board with it, but I'm not like I don't think it'll change the game, but you know what I mean, I'm not super hungry to jump right into it.
Yeah.
You know, be the first one doing it.
I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of like just educate yourself in it, because like you can't use something you don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't drive a car if you've never driven a car, point blank, or if you don't know what a car is. And no, I say that to say I was getting to in terms of like artificial intelligence, the one like I guess I don't know the word I'm looking for, but almost like just challenge I have with it is like I feel like people just view AI as like, you know, already 100% there, like it just knows everything. When I'm like, one, we're in the very beginning stages of AI, and then two, you know, man created AI, we created AI, and I said to say we make mistakes. So obviously AI is gonna make mistakes too. So like that's where it's like a miss. It's just like
What
it's
makes
hard.
you feel that way?
What makes you feel like what?
That people think we're already there.
That word. Oh, well, just because I feel like, you know, just every little thing is like has some sort of AI. Like everything is adopting AI. You type in a question anywhere, you're gonna have an AI answer, literally anywhere. So
What other example other than that though? Because that's like the main,
other
like the
than-
entry thing, I think. Yeah.
I know one. This is so weird to me. So like I like go on Facebook a lot for like recipes and whatnot, but like if you go on like a Facebook post that has like over like 1,000 comments, if you click the comment section, it pops up a bubble and it says like what people are talking about in the comments, and AI like sums up like what people are talking about in the comments. So I kind of get where he's coming from. Maybe not people think it's fully developed, but it is everywhere. Like it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on Snapchat, it's on
Yeah.
Google. Like
So it's spreading like wildfire.
Yeah.
Pretty much is more.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I was saying in terms of like using it too soon to where what it's supposed to be helping, like giving the small business a boost from like 4,000 to 8,000, then 16,000, then 32,000. It's knocking them down to 200.
Yeah.
And companies that don't even need that extra push are more or less getting an extra boost from just because, which again, it'll get tweaked and fixed and all those things. But that's what I mean in terms of like just educating yourself before, but using it too soon can maybe work against you if you don't know how it works.
Yeah.
And I think it being deployed everywhere that's a good example of it. Because it should be there, at least I feel, to help the small business, not be knocking them off. You know, their referrals going down for, I don't know what percentage that is off the top of my head, but
What did
Drastic.
the article like say about that though? Like why would it take away from the referrals?
So really just in terms of like traction. So at first it being a search engine, at Google, they literally had the example of somebody Googling house sprays, like what's a good house spray, and they always came up first at first, House Fresh or whatever this place is called. They always would come up first, and then now with that AI just automatically giving an answer, and then people knowing how to already exploit AI, the answer I'll tell you isn't House Fresh, it doesn't come up, and that's where they lose like most.
Well, does the answer come up as another business?
Honestly, didn't look that far.
Google it. Look it up.
Because,
Get
like,
your phone, look it up.
To be at the top, like with SEO and search engine optimization, they paid for that already. So maybe that's
Or
something
you-
in terms of like the regulation.
Yeah.
Like to have your answer be the one on AI, it's like a premium package that you pay for. I mean, that's another business, but.
Yeah, that's a great point, because that's what I was thinking is like, is AI really just, is it artificial intelligence, or is it just a way to
Make more money, yeah.
monopolize that like now that those companies gotta get in on the artificial
Mhm.
intelligence,
Yeah, that's
or
what I'm saying.
you're non-existent. You know, if you're not using it, then you don't exist in a sense, because you can't get out there. So that's like what I was saying in
Mhm.
terms of now if you're not paying to get into that algorithm that everybody talks about, yeah, like, are you just not relevant, you know, which I don't disagree necessarily with there being an algorithm to show people what they like and direct them to new things that they may like, but I think it should be more off of what they actually click that they like, not you
Yeah.
accidentally thought something was weird and looked at it for too long and now that's all you're getting on your feed and stuff like that.
I mean, there's also like another side of this too, though. I feel like when like people dive really deep into technology, there's also like a pull in the other direction where like vintage stuff comes back in
Yeah.
style and like
Mhm.
local like coffee shops. Like there's even like articles about how Starbucks is like falling in sales because people rather support like local coffee shops or local like bakeries versus like going to like it's lost its touch almost because people want a more like
Mhm.
personal touch and it's like I think it just depends. That's why this is a hard conversation because it could go both ways. You know, it could make people like you said, it's spreading like wildfire, and it could push people in the opposite direction and help small businesses because then people might be like, whoa, we need to connect more and like support more
Yeah.
community local stuff. But
It's a cool, like I was saying, like too, like a cool tool to use. I wouldn't like circulate, which some people are actually doing, like circulating the whole business on AI, which like maybe it might be too soon, but maybe it might work. But like it's cool, like even for what we do, because like I had a customer that really wanted like a visual of their house, and like I found like an AI app that like basically like I just typed in like the changes on the exterior and it changed the whole entire house. So like
cool.
yeah, there's ways you can use it to help. I wouldn't say I would do all my work through AI, but
Yeah, I guess it just feels like the first thing, cause that's where it almost can't hurt to use it, but it brings me back to the point of like, is it gonna be to where you can't not use it? You know what I mean? To where it's so helpful to those who do use it that you either get on board or good luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause yeah, I mean, I'm not denying how and that's the thing I think with the pool on both ends on how it's so new and the capabilities are so endless still to this point because it is so new and it's already doing so much that there is that pool of I don't know if I want to get into it, but at this point with something that powerful it's like can you afford to not get into it?
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
question.
but also as like a security threat. I think I was talking to you guys about how like Trump was on an interview talking about how like it can write a speech for him in like a minute and it's like a perfect speech. And then that also takes away from the uniqueness, just like I know like with music, like people can create songs and it's like it's taking away from the art side, but on like the other side it's like I mean people can use it for evil and to exploit money and things of that nature. But I was thinking, you know how on your phone when you go on like unauthorized site and it makes you like click all the images with bicycles and like verify you're a human, like maybe AI is too new to have like that security encrypted stuff to where you need to verify things, but like that's gonna have to come at a certain point.
Yeah.
Because like Trump was describing like they could send an AI video of him saying like a nuke's gonna be sent to Korea and like they don't have enough time to respond. If they're like in 10 minutes it will be sent. And it's like there has to be some sort of security
Yeah.
verification to it. Like
Yeah, that would be wild.
yeah.
If it was just fake. I mean, I'm sure they deal with stuff like that already, I'm sure. But in terms of the music, that's interesting because I just had a quick thought of, and I never thought of it this way before, but it might be I know a lot of people look at it as like threatening to like the music industry and stuff like that, but it could be, I just had the thought, helpful and kind of rejuvenated because, I mean, it's pulling from things people have already done and pulling from other artists. So I think it would make artists get back to being more unique and actually artistic and not just doing the thing that's gonna get the attention, you know what I mean? Because that's AI is gonna be able to do that like that. But to just come up with new sounds and be experimental and try different things, it's not gonna be able to do that so much. So I think it's gonna kind of rejuvenate to kind of keep artistry fresh again and get some new sounds, right? Because the computer will be able to give you that other sound time and time again. You won't have to wait for the artist to do it. You can just type it in on your computer, get it.
Yeah, you wouldn't even need to pay for a feature.
Yeah.
You just get that Drake on your
Yeah,
song. Like,
yeah.
that's the crazy part.
And that's the thing too, is I mean, I'm sure there would be a way to like monopolize it where, like, again, they'll be able to use it to, if they do that, there'll probably be licensing through if you use like a Drake AI where they get money for it, even though they're not writing the verse, you using their likeness and you know what I mean. So it'll all get worked out, but yeah, that's why this is such a fun conversation for me, because it is so new and there's such that drastic pool.
So obviously technologies to advance, the world. How do you guys feel like just everyday life AI can advance that? Because I guess that's why I'm almost so off put with AI, is because the only reason I use AI is for just stupid information I want to learn on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like the everyday person, not like the big businesses or even the music industry. Like, how do you guys think that could affect that?
I think there's a lot of it that can be used for good. Like, I guess this is kind of like a morbid way to look at it, but like, I know like the AI is like generated to like stop people. So like, say like you are lonely and don't have someone to talk to. Like, if you were talking to it and you're like, hey, like I'm really upset. Like, I don't know if you ever played around with like the Snapchat AI, but if you're like, oh, I'm having a bad day, like it tries to cheer you up. It's like, no, like
That's really good. Actually.
like go outside. It's really nice out. So like, I mean, there's ways you could use it for good. Obviously, there's ways you could use it for bad, but day to day.
Yeah, it also just can make things more efficient. Like, you don't have to spend as much time verifying things, if it is a credible source, in terms of finding answers. Like, I mean, that's what technology is for, to like expedite things, I guess. Because we want instant gratification, and it gives us that. So.
Yeah, I mean, not so much I guess it wouldn't be everyday people still, but like the Neuralink in terms of helping people that haven't had any other form of help, like, can't remember who it was, but it was like he was able to, I don't want to say walk for the first time, but like he was able to move or talk or something for the first time with it. You might have to look the video up again to see it, but yeah, just helping people like that too that didn't really have any other options, and now they have at least something to try, you know what I mean?
You have a very good point though. Like, yours is a solid point. That's a whole spin off or something, because I'm like, I remember when I would sometimes just ask the AI, I'm not trying to get myself on camera saying it, but I said, how can I get better at basketball? Just to see what it would say, because I'm really good already. But
Kind of like give you tips.
literally, like, I'll have a whole conversation with you, and like, and the reason I wanted to point you out is because obviously, one saved life is enough for anything. You know what I'm saying? So like, that right there is the answer I needed to hear.
Yeah, and like that can be taken into so many other
So many.
Yeah, like in terms of people with disabilities or in rehabs or anywhere, they could use it to actually make people feel like they have something they can go to that's anonymous in a way.
Yeah. I think like the photo generation is really cool too, like especially for like small businesses. Like if you don't have someone that has like a degree in Photoshop or like can do all of that, it's a really good resource. Like if you need like stuff generated and generated quick.
Do we have any AI Braille stuff? Because that's the next big idea, I think.
I don't know if that would work.
Get a, wait, do blind people talk?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
This guy.
I'm so
Whiskers
sorry.
is at it again.
I'm Ed, Big Ed. But no,
Whiskey.
wouldn't that be sweet? You're blind
Eddie
and
Whiskers.
Fur whiskers.
get a little,
Eddie Whiskers.
that's, hey, I'm pitching a huge idea, guys.
I don't know.
Get a
Probably
tablet.
not.
Alright, get it out. What were you saying?
We've got a tablet, right? Get a tablet that's an AI, robotic, SEO, whatever the technology stuff is. Get a tablet. It's all Braille, right? So we got all the bumps, right? And then have the blind person talk to the tablet, and the AI will just talk back in English. Or wait, I guess it doesn't make
I
sense.
think they already have programs.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about it, because I don't see the difference between that and watching a movie, so it's okay.
A blind
Oh,
person
shoot.
watching a
Or not,
movie?
but like an audio movie. An audio movie is what I'm saying. An audio movie. Can
Silent
AI
movie?
An audio book?
can AI actually help blind people see? Not real life.
Oh,
Dear.
how?
Where's
How would
this
that be
going?
possible?
I saw somebody got something implanted in their brain not too long ago. That's real.
Implanted in their brain to do what?
No,
See?
There's actually something pretty amazing. It actually worked. But like he said, it overworked, and he said he just now like focused and like just it was bad because that's all it was. And like he said, a lot of updates. His biggest his way he put it was like he plays Call of Duty a lot, and he just knew what was next before the other people. And like he's like, I need to get a new game system because I'm better than everybody else. I know this makes no sense to you guys. I'll send you guys a link, and maybe we can actually add it. Promise. Like that's some real stuff I'm talking about. But
Yeah, I'm curious.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, artificial intelligence. Yeah. How could it help the everyday person?
That was something funny I thought of. Like, you know how, like, in school you Googled answers for homework?
Oh, you're cheating.
Yeah, like, imagine being a kid right now with AI. Like, how are they going to be able to do homework and not? Like, education system's seriously going to have to do, like,
we have some dumb kids.
like a site where, like, if you get off this page, like, it will just close out and automatically get a 0 for it or
I
something.
think they have some kind of checker already
Yeah.
for like at least for essays and stuff. I think.
Yeah,
I've seen
essay.
something about.
Hold on.
Write 5 paragraphs,
Yeah.
AI,
Dude, I
write 5
would've
paragraphs
hated
about
AI.
Huckleberry Finn.
They call me Allen Iverson. I was using so much AI.
No, it's crazy because like even like when I was in school, like I don't know if any of you ever used photo math, but like that's like essentially what it did. Like it would be an equation, you just take a picture of it and it wouldn't give you just the answer. You'd click and it would give you all the work because you know in math they make you write down all the work and you just copy it. How are you gonna know? It's numbers. Like how are you gonna know I used an app for that?
Quizlets.
Yep.
That was the go-to.
Yeah, it's always like I've wondered, this might be off topic, but it's just like, are those kids just using like a smart part of their brain to search for an answer and they're problem solvers? I mean, yeah, they're not learning, but some of the stuff we learn, do we really use every day? It might show a certain skill in a child.
Yeah.
That's true. On this topic though, you doctors better not be cheating out there, cause yeah, we need y'all knowing what you're doing when you're in surgery, not cheating
Yeah.
your way through surgery school.
Real life.
AI could probably give diagnosis now for people that go into the ER, type in their symptoms, and like a nurse could have some sort of conclusion before a doctor is available or something.
I don't know if you've seen the TikToks, but they now have like programs for like nurses in training where like it's like on the computer and you're like, they give you like tools and stuff, almost kind of like, you know, like the headsets you put on, but like they like practice with like a fake like generated patient.
I like VR.
Yeah, they'll be like, how are you doing today? And like they'll like try to like diagnose them through like the system.
It's like the pilot simulator.
Yeah.
And all that. I think it definitely is a better way to train people in life-threatening situations,
Oh, yeah.
like flying a plane or performing a surgery to do it on
Yeah.
a computer before having
Like, just
live
have a shot at
surgery.
So in terms of hypotheticals, do you think there will be like regulations and like, I don't know,
1,000%.
sanctions is the right word on AI and like how it's used in countries globally and what might that look like? You think?
I think it's gonna take a long time because I feel like online stuff's going the opposite direction. Just how like X is like unregulated now for freedom of speech, and I think like it makes sense to regulate it, but I think like contrary to what might make sense, it might take a lot longer until unfortunately potentially some damage is done. I don't know. I hope not, but
That's kind of the thought I was having. Like, I feel like no one's gonna regulate it until there's a reason to regulate it, which is unfortunate, but that's kind of how we've always worked as a country. Like, I feel like they hold off to like create like a bill or a
Absolutely.
law or something until there was a problem that needed to be solved. So,
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. I was more interested on what you guys thought they would look like when we get there. I don't know when it'll happen, because just knowing how
Yup.
it is, something will eventually happen, you know, ruin it for everybody,
Yeah.
and then what happens, do you think? What does that look like?
it would probably be a giant pile of regulations in terms of like the likeness and licensing with like that and the money side and just the security side. Like, it'd be so much. I don't even know where to begin.
Hmm.
They have to have a whole department just to like regulate technology and AI.
But that's what's cool
More
though.
jobs.
Yeah,
More
because people
government.
freak out. More
More
jobs. like-
government. Get whiskers.
So, yeah.
Sorry, Liv.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. But I mean, yeah, people get so scared of like new technology because they're like, oh, it gets rid of jobs, but like, in turn, it's probably going to create jobs, but maybe not for the good. But
yeah, it'll be interesting.
I don't know. Sorry.
No, you're good, kid.
It's a scary subject to me because I think we talked about it the one day where like the easiest way to like shut down a country would be hacking into all of their technology.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stop talking about it.
There's a whole movie on it. We're not the first.
Yeah. It would be, that's why, that brings me back to like the whole beginning of like just the reliance. It's gonna come down to like just discipline of usage of it and knowing when to use it, I think. Because again, it is a tool. We all know how it can help. You know, it's almost, I think that's why it's grown so much, is there's so much how could it hurt right now.
Yeah.
You know, even with stuff like that, it's still viewed as just tweaking it and figuring out how to make sure it helps. But that's where the danger comes in, is, you know, too much of anything is a bad thing, and that's where that comes. But not to get off track again, but yeah, I just watched Captain America: Civil War, the Avengers Civil War last night, and that I never realized the quote at the end right before it was, they were talking about. He says, "A country toppled or a nation toppled by its enemies can rise again, but one that falls from within is truly dead." And that's kind of, you know, it just makes me think of, you know, as long as we don't rely too much on it, like, we'll be fine, no matter if it hacks, whatever, you know, we'll be alright. But if we start relying too much heavy and that really shuts us down that bad, then yeah, it'll be, but
I'll tell you what,
it's
I
all
want
good.
to segue off that. That's my solution right
It's
there.
all good. AI ain't in control.
Your solution, what is that?
That's everybody's solution. That's solution searching, I meant to say. That's Jake's solution for everybody. Thank you, Jake. But just that, you know, you rely on everybody else. You essentially can build yourself back. So what I'm getting at is it's not over. Just rely on yourself. And in my head, it went a lot smoother than what I'm saying. But as I'm saying it, it's not as smooth. But essentially, what I'm getting at is focus on yourself. Don't focus on others. Focus on others, you go down. Focus on yourself, you go up.
I don't really know about that.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
What I was saying was not a solution. That's just a factor.
Can
Just want
somebody-
to clarify that.
Yeah, can you clarify too what I'm saying? Like, so it doesn't sound like I'm saying
I-
being
Yourself
selfish.
then?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said focus on yourself and not on others.
And you'll go far.
Pretty much, I'm trying to say
I'm glad
something
this
that's
is a can I
sticks and
podcast.
stones. What I'm trying to say is sticks and
Real
stones
time
don't
issues.
break bones. That's it. Sticks and stones don't break bones, and words should never hurt you.
Can we put that theory to test?
Love thy neighbor. Yeah, that's what he said. Love thy
Love thy
neighbor.
neighbor.
Yes, that's it.
I was actually gonna say the opposite point in a way, because I was thinking like sometimes even with Google searches we rely on it way too much. Like a question I should probably just ask my mom, or even in the work environment, like a mentor, and it would help that other person to feel useful to get asked something. I would just Google, and
Yeah.
it's like that's like dangerous sometimes.
On the flip
Yeah.
side though, like it's tough because then people get offended if someone feels like they asked them a question they could have Googled. Like people be like, why are you asking me? Just Google it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying to use like,
That's true.
like,
But I mean, asking that question, you give that person the opportunity to realize they need to be of service,
Yeah.
not selfish. That I just Google.
yeah.
Jail.
But the same thing too is on the other side. Like sometimes when there's something I might, like I think I should know and it doesn't come right to me, like I at least try to not Google it right away and try to let it come to me, or try to remember it so that you still have that like recollection and you're still working that, but you usually end up Googling it. So,
Yeah.
which by the way, Google Project 25, if you ain't 2025, if you ain't heard about this, I'm just gonna throw that out there too. I don't know where I stand on it. I just read it last night at like 4:30 in the morning because I couldn't sleep. But crazy stuff going on out there. To just be educated.
Yeah, I think I need more information. I've seen a couple of
Yeah.
Facebook posts about it, and I'm like, okay, Facebook cannot be my resource for this. Like, I need to go, like,
Yeah, dude.
I don't know about it. What?
I mean, it's I don't know a whole lot about it, but it's what I think I know about it, I should say, is that it's basically this group headed by like the Heritage Organization trying to usher in like a new form of presidential unionization or something, make it more conservative. I don't know, a lot more, basically, from what I read deeper into, is kind of removing a lot of checks and balances, and opens the door. The issue is it opens the door for a chance of a dictatorship and more stuff like that. From what I read at 4:30 in the morning, again, don't take this as,
Yeah, don't use this as your
news.
source.
This isn't anything like that, but I'm just saying, beware of just doing my due diligence and spreading the word.
Allegedly.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Just spreading the word of what I read, and
Yeah, I saw
Think
some
I have.
stuff, like, they wanted to, like, get rid of, like, Medicare and stuff, like the kids that, like, get their school lunches paid for them. Once again, allegedly, this is what I saw.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like removing just, like, a lot of, like, assistance, and I'm like, ugh, don't know about that one.
yeah, that was a lot of it, was removing a lot of like assistance and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
so I don't know, we'll see what goes on there, and I'm sure people will have their feelings about that, but it'll all work out for the better, trials are, it's only training, we'll be alright, we'll get through it either way, we're all in it together.
You wrote some stuff down?
Yeah, I just need to get my thoughts out and
Okay.
give me the opportunity.
Get it out.
So all I was pretty much saying, it's enough to believe in yourself.
Not
I've
in
been winked.
others?
I've been winked. And in others. Oh, shit.
Sorry, I just clarified.
And
So-
in AI?
I'm just gonna say, you know what? Anything is possible, and love thy neighbor like you love yourself.
Oh,
That's what I meant previously.
It's great.
So if we can cut out the other.
I mean, we won't cut it out, but it comes full circle. You see how we work through it. This is real life stuff. You work through things. You don't let it become you. That's what it's all about. That's what continuous.
transparency.
It's a perfect example of what continuous and never-ending improvement is all about, right there.
Seeing it live means you need to like and say with me,
Subscribe.
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 Then-
Thanks, Whiskers.
Thanks,
Thanks,
listeners!
Whiskers! Meow meow.
Okay.
Purr.
All right. Well, with that, I guess, yeah, I guess let's run into some solution searching for just opinions, I guess, on where do we go for AI? How do you think we could use it in maybe your everyday life, as well as, I don't know if you got any thoughts on the Project 2025 to wrap up, and just that'll take us into obviously positive note, because we'll need some there.
I think it is a good tool, like we talked about, when used right. In terms of like being an entrepreneur or a leader, like sometimes you get like almost like writer's block, like you can't think of where to go next. And I don't know, I just think it's a really cool tool to help you like further ideas and plans and help people around you if it's used that way. But on the other side of the coin, it's like we have to be human beings, like put your feet in the grass, like still ground
Yeah.
yourself and connect with people and have that balance. I mean, that's everything, we talk about that a lot, but balance is important.
Yeah, I think like it's very useful for like creativeness, kind of like touching on that, because like for me, like I've like always like drew, I guess, and like painted, but like I could never just like do it without looking at something. It would be more like I'd have to look at like 3 or 4 pictures and then combine it. So like similar, like say you were like gutting and redoing like your house, you could have like AI design through like 3 kitchens and then like make one of your own and kind of just like help you with creativity.
You got any ideas there? Where to go?
What will you use it for?
No, just love AI like your neighbor.
Yeah, like, where are we
Just
at?
fall in love with AI.
You already shared?
Amen.
Oh.
Oh, no.
What are you gonna say?
Well, this is not weird. I was gonna say familiarize yourself with AI, and even if it's uncomfortable and new to you, learn it, because I think that's one of the big things. Learn it.
It's like trying new foods.
It's like trying.
Oh, alright. That's touching something. I don't know if I can get on that.
You have a dog? dog, you could help it train your dog.
Oh yeah.
My dog
How to make my dog roll over.
My dog's perfectly trained because
Yeah, your dog's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That was a good idea, I thought, in terms of just training. I never thought of it
Yeah.
in that. I think that would be especially for when the question was asked of just everyday stuff. Whatever, if you're looking to do something new, they add something new that can give you help be, or not help you be right away, but gives you access to an expert almost. You
Yeah.
know, and things that has expert.
Yeah, like even with the
Okay,
marketing rep
yeah.
pitch, or like you're trying to memorize something, it's like help me memorize this, and you give it to
Yeah.
it, and then you say it out loud, and it will stop and repeat the line you missed, or like tell you the next line, and like help train you.
Yeah, see? There's some positive notes. Yeah, see, I'm excited to just kind of use it in a little way. I think it's going to come down, for me, it's all about perspective. I think, like you said, Sam, that's the big thing that sticks out to me. I think it's going to give people more, you have to be more intentional about being a human, which I think could be a good thing in today's society. I think there will be a gap in, obviously, people who just get lost in the simulation, so to speak. You know, yeah, that too. Been there, but yeah, but I think it'll help too, like you said, the pull in the other direction. It'll make people want to be more intentful about just being a being a human, and just getting into nature and remembering what we are and what we can do.
Yeah, because you have to like consciously make that choice.
Yeah.
It's not as easy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other last thoughts other than that? Any positive notes?
Today's the day.
That's it. Today's the day. One day win, not one day when. But yeah, with that again, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Thanks for joining us again. We'll see you next week.